You ever notice how some people will walk past a stranger without even a glance, but the moment they spot a dog across the street, they completely transform? Suddenly they're smiling, crouching down, using that voice they'd never use with another adult. And if you're one of those people, you already know what I'm talking about. You feel it. That instant warmth. That safety. But here's what most people don't realize. This isn't just about preferring fluffy things over small talk. There's a psychological reason this happens. Something wired deep in your brain that explains why a 10-second interaction with a dog can feel more genuine than an entire dinner party with humans. When was the last time you felt completely seen by another person without having to explain yourself, without worrying if you said the wrong thing, without that little voice in your head wondering if they're judging you? It's rare, right? But animals do this naturally. They look at you, and there's no calculation behind their eyes. No hidden agenda. No performance required. Psychologists call this unconditional positive regard, the idea that you're accepted exactly as you are, no strings attached, no conditions to meet. And while therapists train for years to offer this kind of presence, animals just do it. They don't even know they're doing it. They just are. Now, before anyone jumps in with the whole, these people just hate humans narrative, let's pump the brakes. Because that's not what this is about. People who feel more comfortable around animals aren't running away from humanity because they're cold or broken. They're stepping back because human connection has become exhausting. And I mean truly, deeply draining. Think about what happens every time you interact with another person. You're constantly scanning. Is my tone right? Did that joke land, or did I just make it weird? Why did they pause before answering? What did that look mean? You're managing 1,000 tiny signals. Reading between the lines, trying not to say too much or too little. It's like playing social chess while pretending you're just having a casual conversation. But when you're with an animal, all of that falls away. A dog wags its tail and you know it's happy. A cat purrs and you know it feels safe. There's no subtext. No need to decode some cryptic text message 3 hours later wondering if you messed up. Communication becomes breathtakingly simple. And for people who've spent their whole lives overthinking every human interaction, for people with social anxiety or trauma or just a nervous system that runs hot, that simplicity isn't lazy. It's relief. It's being able to breathe again. And let's be honest, animals are consistent in ways humans often aren't. Dogs don't ghost you after you open up. Cats don't give you the silent treatment and expect you to guess why. Sure, your cat might ignore you, but at least they're honest about it. There's no game. No wondering where you stand. You always know. But here's where this goes deeper, and this is the part that really matters. A lot of people who gravitate toward animals have been hurt by humans in ways that left scars. Maybe it was betrayal. Maybe it was criticism disguised as care. Maybe it was love that came with conditions. Love that said, I'll accept you if you change this, if you're less of that, if you just try harder to be what I need. And after enough of that, something inside you starts to protect itself. You don't want to be vulnerable with people anymore because vulnerability became a weapon someone else used against you. So you turn to creatures who don't do that. Who don't remember your worst day and throw it in your face during an argument. Who don't compare you to their ex or their sibling or some impossible standard. Who see you tired, messy, imperfect, and just stay. Not because they're trying to fix you. Because they don't think you're broken. But here's the part that changes everything. There's actual science behind why this feels so good. When you interact with an animal, your body releases oxytocin, the same hormone that bonds mothers to babies, the same chemical that makes you feel connected and safe. At the same time, your cortisol drops. That's your stress hormone. So your nervous system is literally calming down. This isn't just in your head. Well, it is. Technically it's happening in your brain chemistry, but the point is, it's real. Your body knows the difference between a space that feels threatening and a space that feels safe. And for some people, animals create that safety in a way humans just don't. Now here's what I need you to understand, because this is where people get it wrong. Preferring animals to people isn't a character flaw. It's not something to be ashamed of or something that means you're damaged. Sometimes it's a protective mechanism, sure. Sometimes it's your nervous system saying, I've been hurt enough. I need something gentler right now. But protection isn't weakness. Protection is your brain doing exactly what it's supposed to do. Keeping you safe. And if the safest place you found is in the quiet presence of a creature who asks nothing from you but gives you everything, that's not pathetic. That's survival. That's wisdom. Not everyone connects this way, and that's completely fine. Some people are genuinely energized by human chaos. They love the noise, the unpredictability, the mess of navigating personalities and emotions, and all the beautiful complicated layers of being around other people. And that's great for them. But others need something different. They need the kind of honesty that only comes without words. They need a connection that doesn't require them to be on all the time, to perform, to manage someone else's feelings while suppressing their own. Neither way is wrong. They're just different nervous systems looking for different kinds of peace. Because here's the truth that nobody wants to say out loud. For some people, their relationship with their pet is the only place where love doesn't come with fear attached. It's the only space where they don't have to explain themselves, defend their choices, or apologize for taking up room in the world. And maybe that sounds sad to someone who's never needed that. But for the person living it, it's not sad. It's sacred. It's the one corner of their life where they get to just be, without the weight of expectation crushing them. Animals don't fix human problems. They can't heal your past or replace the relationships you wish you had. But they do something else. They remind you what connection felt like before it got complicated. Before you learned to second-guess yourself. Before love became something you had to earn. They love the way kids do, before the world teaches them to keep score. No strategy. No conditions. Just presence. So the next time you meet someone who completely lights up around animals but seems guarded or distant around people, don't assume they're broken. Don't assume they just need to try harder or put themselves out there more. They might be someone who's figured out exactly what kind of connection their nervous system can handle right now. They might be protecting something precious inside themselves. Something that's been hurt before and doesn't want to be hurt again. And they've found a version of love that feels safe. That feels real. That doesn't ask them to be anything other than exactly who they are. If this made something click for you, if you felt seen in a way you don't usually feel, subscribe. Because this channel exists to explain human behavior without the judgment, without the shame, just the truth about why we do what we do. And don't stop here. The next video dives into why certain people feel like home to you while others feel like work, the psychology of instant connection and what it says about your past. I'll see you there.